Right now at 10, Hope City Church in Joplin gives back to the Joplin Police Department. We'll tell you how.
Thanks to the stubborn cloud cover this morning, we can only manage upper 30s and lower 40s for this afternoon, but we'll plan on increasing temperatures throughout the week, including the Christmas holiday. We'll start breaking down the numbers with first weather coming up.
In sports, hear from Missouri Southern after the men and women collect wins heading into the Christmas break.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Chris Warner. Every year, Hope City Church in Joplin gives back to the community the Sunday before Christmas. Each year, they pick a different group to support, and this year, they picked the Joplin Police Department. Hundreds of people packed into the Hope City Church on the southeast side of Joplin, but not for a traditional church service. Instead, they were in service to the community.
Our goal for Local Impact Sunday has been to really bless our community in whatever way we can, and so we find a need like our officers who have been going hard and have been a little bit weary, and say, man, how can we encourage them this Christmas season? How can we bless them?
Church members got together at tables scattered throughout the lobby. There, they found a paper with instructions on it explaining what they needed to do to help. Lead Pastor Cody Walker says they put some good thought and reflection into picking the Joplin Police Department.
This year we just started thinking, man, how could we bless someone in our community or a group of people in our community that is weary this year? And so we wanted to be able to step into that and encourage and bless them specifically because of the work and really the hard year to 24 months it's been for them.
The groups had cards to fill out, one for every officer on the force. There were coloring sheets for the kids to color for the officers, and if there weren't any kids, the adults got to help out too. For Chief Sloan Rowland, it means a lot.
One thing you'll see in this area is the community is very supportive of their law enforcement officers and first responders as a whole. So I think it's critical when this happens that the officers get to see that. They get to see the community support at the grassroots level.
Back to the groups for a moment. When they were done making and creating at the tables, they then went to a cage and picked up a tactical backpack. That was filled with gift cards to local businesses, a water bottle, electrolytes in the form of Gatorade, and some other goodies to brighten their day. Here's Chief Sloan Rowland again on how helpful this is for the officers.
Nationwide, there's some definite challenges. We face those recruiting retention challenges. It makes it a lot easier to recruit and retain officers in a community where they know they're supported, so I think it's huge.
Those tactical backpacks are filled with the work of 1,500 people for 97 officers, packed with extra love from the community.
You know, I'm blessed daily to represent 163 people, men and women, that go out every day with our jail, our dispatch, and our police officers to do a critical job in the community, and it gives me a very good feeling knowing that they're supported every time they go out and do that job.
The Hope City Church held 2 packing sessions to ensure all the officers on the list would be served. And it was a chilly start to the day yet again. Nick Kelly joining us.
All because of the stubborn cloud cover that held on this morning, Chris. Eventually, we did see returning sunshine this afternoon. But as I pop up the numbers from Joplin Regional, a fat load of good it did in terms of temperatures. We only went from the upper 20s this morning to about 39 at Joplin Regional. Keep in mind, we should be around 47 degrees, but we're actually going to go back above that number with the setup that we have lined up for tomorrow. In the short term, we don't have a lot to show you on the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Building cloud cover along I-40 in central Oklahoma. That's going to start working in overnight, but overall, not much in the way of active weather heading our way as we go into our Monday as new shortened work week, I imagine, for some of you gets underway. We're in the upper 20s to near 30 right now, but even with the light breeze out of the south, between 5 and 10 miles per hour and mostly clear skies, I think some building cloud cover overnight will only allow temperatures to drop back near 27, but with plenty of sunshine tomorrow and a light southwesterly breeze, I do expect us, Chris, to push us back near 50 tomorrow. We'll break down the rest of the week, including how mild it could get for the Christmas holiday coming up in a bit.
All right, Nick, thank you. Police in Minnesota are investigating what caused the death of 7 people in a South Moorhead home Saturday. Investigators say family members returned to their house Saturday night and found 4 adults and 3 children dead. Then they called 911. Police say there's no sign of violence or forced entry and there's no known threat to the public. Ramsey County Medical Examiner's Office is conducting autopsies to determine the cause of death and confirm identities. The Moorhead Area School District is working on providing student counseling assistance to classmates of the victims. Former Republican Georgia Senator Johnny Isakson has died. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp made the announcement Sunday shortly after his death. Kemp said Isakson was one of Georgia's greatest statesmen. Kemp also said Isakson was dedicated to making his state and country better than he found it. Isakson was re-elected to a third term in 2016, but he resigned at the end of 2019 because of worsening health from Parkinson's disease. He was known as one of the dwindling number of bipartisan deal makers on Capitol Hill. Isakson died just days ahead of his 77th birthday. Rapper Drakeo, the Ruler, was stabbed to death at a California music festival. Authorities in Los Angeles say the 28-year-old was stabbed backstage during an altercation at the Once Upon a Time in LA festival Saturday night. Dozens of artists were scheduled to perform on the concert's 3 stages, including Al Green, Snoop Dogg, and 50 Cent. The incident prompted a massive police response and the fire marshal to shut down the festival. Officers from the LAPD and California Highway Patrol, some equipped with riot gear, kept a watchful eye on audience members as they evacuated the area. No arrests in connection with the stabbing were announced. And we take this time now to honor one of our many 4-state heroes. Master Sergeant Chuck Spencer served in the Army during World War II and Korea. During his time, he earned a Bronze Star and a Purple Heart. His hometown, Nowata. We're proud to recognize Master Sergeant Chuck Spencer, tonight's 4-state hero. Coming up, check your cabinets. There's a recall on certain dry shampoos and dry conditioners. Plus, the Omicron variant has now been detected in 45 states. Procter & Gamble is issuing a voluntary recall of more than 30 aerosol spray products, including dry shampoo and dry conditioner. The recall is due to concerns over the levels of the chemical benzene, which is known to cause cancer. Products from brands Pantene, Aussie, Herbal Essences, and Waterless are included in the recall. Food and Drug Administration says to date, Procter & Gamble has not received any reports of adverse events related to the recall. The company says it is pulling the products out of an abundance of caution. You can get specific information about the recall at fda.gov. Despite the rise in new COVID-19 cases, air travelers do not appear to be scaling back their holiday plans. TSA reported screening more than 2 million passengers for the 3rd straight day on Sunday. Those numbers are nearly double what they were at the same time last year, but they do fall short of pre-pandemic figures. Public health experts suggest that despite new COVID restrictions being enforced in many areas, families do not appear to be canceling holiday plans. On Sunday's morning shows, Dr. Anthony Fauci said fully vaccinated people should feel comfortable about traveling, but he also advised against any holiday gatherings with people whose vaccination status is unknown. The COVID-19 Omicron variant has now been detected in at least 45 U.S. states, Puerto Rico, and Washington, D.C. That's according to press releases from state officials in their respective states. With the Omicron variant quickly spreading, one health expert says, quote, "There's a tsunami coming for unvaccinated Americans." Omicron is expected to surpass Delta to become the dominant variant in the U.S. in the coming weeks. Both cases and hospitalizations are at levels not seen since September at the end of the summer spike. In Michigan this week, for example, COVID hospitalizations are hovering around all-time highs. Dr. Anthony Fauci is warning that the fast-spreading Omicron variant could cause U.S. hospitals to become very stressed in the coming weeks. And Mayor Bill de Blasio is urging New Yorkers to get vaccinated as cases surge in the nation's largest city. CBS News correspondent Tom Hansen reports from New York.
As Omicron spreads, health officials are sounding the alarm on the extra burden the variant is likely to place on the healthcare system.
Our hospitals, if things look like they're looking now, in the next week or two, are going to be very stressed with people.
On Tuesday, President Biden plans to speak about the battle against COVID-19 and discuss efforts to send federal help to communities nationwide.
The government is prepared now to start sending out surge teams as needed to places that are really hit hard, and the president's going to have more to say about that.
With Omicron on the move, NIH Director Dr. Francis Collins says for any Americans who haven't yet been vaccinated, this is the week to do it.
We're facing a major challenge with the Omicron variant.
New Yorkers face long lines for COVID testing as the state hits daily highs for new confirmed infections.
This is my 4th test. I've tested negative 3 times already.
It has affected my plans already. I've had to probably shut down a Christmas Eve party I've been attending with my aunt for 45 years.
With year 3 of the pandemic soon getting underway, Johns Hopkins University says the U.S. has confirmed more than 50 million cases of the coronavirus. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren says she has tested positive for COVID-19, and New York State announced more than 22,000 positive daily test results. That's a 3rd consecutive day of record numbers spanning the entire pandemic so far. Later on the KOAM News at 10, we're going to take a look at the weekend's top 5 films.
Plus, after a cold Sunday, the building jet that you see just to my right, it's going to be quite a warm-up for this week. We'll break down the forecast next. Bless you. We are trying to fight off some allergies in here, but hopefully the cold temperatures are keeping that at bay a little bit as we go deeper into the overnight hours as lows drop back into the 20s. For the good part of the evening, though, we finally got rid of the stubborn cloud cover. We have mostly clear skies still over Indigo Sky Casino and Resort outside of Seneca, Missouri. Even though it was good to see the mostly clear skies, it didn't clear out fast enough. That's why after we went into the upper 30s for much of yesterday, after the upper 20s this morning, all we could do was 38, 39 at Joplin Regional. Thankfully from here, temperatures are going to trend upward, but a little too upward if you ask me, because normally at this part of December, we should be in the 40s for highs. But even though we're chilly Monday all the way through Thursday, highs are eager to bounce back into the 50s. In fact, I think we'll look quite mild, not only for Christmas Eve with highs almost close to record highs, but also for Christmas Day. So not a white Christmas, but at least we'll keep things dry, good for any local travel. But right after Christmas Day, we'll watch for our next best shot for rain, trying to work in by that following Sunday. In the short term, though, we're clear, we're quiet at Joplin. From the east side of the city of 7th and Range Line, we're at 30 in Joplin, a south breeze at 5, still making it feel like 25 degrees outside, just enough to give us a little bit of a bite to the chill in place across the region. Upper 20s to near 30, and again, that light south breeze adding that little bit of extra chill, but even though this has been light throughout the day at 5 to 10 miles per hour, it's still light, but it's just enough that will only drop back and hold steady in the upper 20s as we go throughout the course of the night. Here's some building cloud cover across the I-40 corridor in central Oklahoma. That's going to try and work in our direction as we go into tomorrow morning, but nothing underneath those clouds in general because of a couple areas of high pressure at the surface. There is a front to the north. It's going to try to come at us by Tuesday and Wednesday, but it won't pass on through, so that means temperatures staying chilly and above normal for much of the week. And in terms of the upper levels, we just have in the short term this quick upper low that'll pass just to the south. Other than that, plan on that jet stream really building back in as we go throughout the course of the week. So we're mostly clear right now, but again, some of that cloud cover from I-40 will try to head our way during the overnight and certainly by the morning drive. If anything, though, that'll again help temperatures from dropping off so much, but it's still going to be a cold start, though, with overnight lows only dropping back to 27 degrees. Fortunately, any cloud cover we had to start the morning out, I think we turn mostly sunny throughout the rest of the afternoon tomorrow, and temperatures will definitely respond to that. 46 by noon, 50 for the afternoon high, and Joplin with a light southwest breeze at 5 to 10. In fact, I think everybody will top out either at 50 or right around 50 as we go into Monday afternoon. Here's the rest of the jet stream setup for the rest of the week. Notice how the jet lifts back to the north, even with mostly the partly sunny skies all the way up until Thursday with more cloud cover on the way. That's going to push us into the 50s for highs. Now, this upper level low out west is going to bring some much needed rain and some upper elevation snow out to the west, but this is going to keep us mostly cloudy for Thursday and parts of Friday. But even taking that into the equation and the jet to the north by Saturday, and I can even show you quickly a couple of rain chances working in on Sunday, this upper level setup will take us from the 50s for much of this week to highs near 70. Keep in mind, the record high for Christmas Eve around here is 73, back in 55. So we're definitely going to try and make a run toward that by the time we head toward the holiday. But in the short term, well, chilly for tomorrow. Let's say 50 degrees, 52 Tuesday, 55 Wednesday, near 60 on Thursday. A mild but dry Christmas crisp before rain chances on Sunday.
5 years at this station, 5 years at another TV station. never ever sneezed on the air. Twice this month it has happened now, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the Christmas decor or Danny's perfume, your perfume, I'm not sure, but something is setting it off. I don't know what's going on. But
well, hopefully when you step outside, it kills off any of those allergens.
I certainly hope so. I need something to take care of that. But hey, we've got a beautiful forecast coming up. Nick, thank you so much. Turning to sports, hopefully we can get through this one. Missouri Southern women, though, probably feeling pretty good right about now.
Yeah, I would imagine 103 points in Saturday's win. We'll take a look back at that one. Plus, the men also take care of business this weekend. Christian Bundy shares his thoughts next. This is the Toyota Sunday Night Sports Feed. The Missouri Southern women head into the Christmas break with a lot of confidence, and rightfully so. The Lions are coming off a huge win against Lincoln on Saturday. Southern hit triple digits in the game, the most scored under head coach Ronnie Russell. The final was 103-58 and was just another example of this team's depth. 6 different players scored in the double digits, led by Amaya Johns with 16 and a double-double from Maddie Stokes.
I think it was rebounding and, the one more passes. I think we really were all crashing. I think all of us had 8, 7, 5. Maddie had 10 rebounds. And then also doing the one more passes, not, being selfish or anything and having the one more pass. I think that's what helped us in playing together. I think coming back, we just have to keep working, not get comfortable if they're over break, come back in good shape and everything. So it definitely was a confidence booster, and we're just ready to keep going.
The Southern men bounced back from their first conference loss with a solid win over Lincoln. The Lions pulled away in the second half to get the 81-66 win. Christian Bundy and Stan Scott led the way, combining for over half the team's points. Scott dropped 22, while Bundy had a career-high 29 points and added 7 boards.
My teammates just believe in me, coaches believe in me. Any of us can go off on any given night, so it just so happened to be me tonight.
Tried to make it a point today to get him basketball, and thought he was patient. He made a couple good passes out of it, and then was able to draw 13 fouls and be able to get to the free throw line and step up and make those was huge for us, and especially down the stretch of kind of breaking it open.
That brings us to our one and only break in the Toyota Sunday Night Sports Feed. Still ahead, Pittsburgh State reflects on their loss to Central Missouri. Welcome back to the Toyota Sunday Night Sports Feed. Pittsburgh State hosted Central Missouri for a doubleheader on Saturday. The women saw their 3-game win streak come to an end. The Gorillas fell 70-61 this weekend. They hung around for most of the game, but in the end, Central Missouri was able to close it out. Pitt State shot well from the 3-point line. Grace Pyle went 4 for 6 with 14 points. Tristan Gegg sunk 5 threes and led the Gorillas with 21 points.
I was really proud of Tristan for, she made some really big threes, and that's her trademark, and I don't ever really hesitate. There's times we'll tell her to drive it just because we want to put pressure on the defense, but and she's such a great driver too, and it keeps that defender guessing. They don't want to get too close, they don't want to get too far away. There's a really fine line when you're guarding Tristan Gegg, and so outstanding effort on the offensive side of the ball and defensive side.
The men came up just short against the Mules. Cameron Hufner puts the Gorillas within 1 with minutes left, but it wasn't enough. Pitt State struggled from the free throw line, making just 50% of their shots. Head coach Kim Anderson says that made a big difference.
We outscored them from the field. We shot better from the 3. But even though, they shot 27 free throws, we shot 12, but we only made 6. We've had this problem the last few weeks. We're shooting in just above 50% in conference games. Well, that's, you can't do that and win. You got to be able to make free throws. So we just got to have guys that are tough enough to step up mentally.
The 7th-ranked Kansas Jayhawks hit the floor on Saturday after a full week of rest. At home at Allen Fieldhouse, hosting SFA, Ochai Abaji on fire from long range to kick things off. He leads the Jayhawks with 18 points on the night. KU trailing now Christian Brown to Remy Martin for 3. But they managed to spread it to a 7-point lead at half. Lumberjacks, though, knocked down the 3 here. This one is huge. It makes it a 1-possession game. Under 1 minute left to play, fighting the shot clock, Martin pulls up and drains the 3 from the logo. Jayhawks survive 80-72. We're back right after this.
Web-slinging superhero just made a little history at the box office. We've got Douglas Hyde with the weekend's top 5 films.
Absolute truth. I can do that.
Director Guillermo del Toro's psychological thriller Nightmare Alley had a disappointing debut, opening in 5th place with $2.9 million. Ghostbusters Afterlife scared up a 4th place finish with $3.4 million. Steven Spielberg's West Side Story remake fell from 1st to 3rd with just over $3.4 million.
Many years ago, this candle blessed our family with a miracle.
Encanto held steady in 2nd place for the 2nd week in a row. The Disney animated musical earned $6.5 million.
Ever since I got bit by that spider, I've only had 1 week where my life has felt normal.
Spider-Man: No Way Home caught moviegoers in its web, premiering in 1st place with a whopping $253 million in ticket sales. That's the 3rd best domestic debut of all time and the biggest opening since the pandemic began. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
Certainly some good movies out there, and the weather's going to be good to get out and enjoy some.
Yeah, certainly with finally more sunshine tomorrow. We'll have highs back near 50 as a result. 50s through Thursday, and still looking at a mild, dry Christmas by the end of the week.
Not quite December-ish on Christmas, but we'll take it. Nick, thank you so much. That is our time for now. We'll see you back here next weekend. Thanks for making us part of your night.